The Cleveland Cavaliers might have the best young core in the NBA. Yeah, this Cavs team is legit, like very, very legitimate. I think the clear front runner, the team that made the Eastern Conference Finals, the team that the Cavs are trying to replicate this season is the Atlanta Hawks. But I will say, the Atlanta Hawks obviously have Trae Young. John Collins has been amazing and they've got a lot of talent. But I will say, if I'm looking at the top end talent of any young core in the league, 24 and under, Evan Mobley, Darius Garland, and Jared Allen. Colin Sexton's in that mix as well, if you're going to hold on to him as well. And then the likes of Markkanen and Okoro. That's hard to beat. I'm not going to get into a debate, or it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. But all I want to say is for Cleveland to go from a team that people were ridiculing 2 years ago, last season, they were still kind of getting ridiculed and we could see the promising signs, but like for them to go from that to this in the space of a couple of years, in the space of a year, it's pretty incredible, honestly. It's a pretty incredible turnaround, and I thought I'd talk about that. It has been a long time coming. I was supposed to make a Cavs video weeks ago, and then whenever I was going to make a video, they'd lost a couple of games, or they'd won a couple of games, and I was making a video on something else. It just didn't really collide. It should have. I should have talked about the Cavs a lot earlier because they've been playing fantastically, and I love watching Darius Garland play. In particular, Evan Mobley, of course, as a rookie, has been great, so that's all cool, but we're talking about it now. I will say one thing, Cavs fans. I'm not trying to start any conspiracies, but when I wanted to record, the camera was mysteriously out of battery, so I charged it up, and then I was trying to record, the camera was charged, and then all of a sudden, the recording software wouldn't work, so I had to restart my computer. So all I'm saying is, maybe they don't want me to talk about the Cavs. Who is they? I don't know. But just stay woke, okay? Just stay woke. But I'm still going to talk about them regardless of these signs telling me that I should go to bed at 2:30 in the morning. But let's talk about the Cavs. Obviously, the place where most people would start would be Evan Mobley. It would be Evan Mobley, the rookie that has been incredible. He's been on pace for an all-defensive team in just year one, and I'll talk about him, of course. Darius Garland, who's been lights out as a shooter and as a playmaker, and who's the last 6 or 7 games has been incredible playing at an all-star. I mean, the last 7 games he's played at an all-NBA pace, but in general on the season, he's been around that fringe all-star pace, which is fantastic. But I want to start with Jared Allen, because entering the season, I was actually relatively high on the Cavs. I didn't think they were going to be this good. I was pretty high on them being like a play-in team this season, but a guy that I didn't expect to be putting up these kind of numbers as just a 23-year-old. Jared Allen is just 23, putting up 17 and 11 on 70% from the field over a block a game. Defensively, he's doing his thing, protecting the rim, altering shots, blocks the occasional few shots a game, and is a presence there for sure. But offensively has definitely impressed me. Obviously, he's an incredible lob threat. These two guys are just an incredible lob partnership. That's no questions about that. So he's really building a nice relationship with Darius Garland in the pick and roll, and that's good to see. He sets some good screens for Garland to get off space. He's good at that. But what I have been impressed with is his post-up game. He's shown off a little baby hook. He's shown off some spin moves, some footwork, some up and unders, some touch, some really nice touch, and obviously the physicality and the length and the ability to just dunk on people consistently, whether it's on a post-up or in a pick and roll or in a lob, it doesn't matter. He can do that. But yeah, he's shown off some really nice touch. So that's been the biggest takeaway from Jared Allen's game this season, and the fact that he'll probably be an all-star at 17 and 11 to go along with some good defense on the third best defensive team in the league. Like, that's very impressive for someone who is, again, only 23. It seems like he's been around for longer. Felt like he was like 26, but no, he's 23, and he's doing some fantastic things. So if he can continue to do this, I think this is what separates him on offense from the likes of Rudy Gobert and Clint Capella, those other guys that are good lob threats, but Jared Allen is now proving he's got a little bit more in his game. He's looked like a steal, or at least a very good contract, should I say, at $20 million a year. He's locked in, and well, he's working with the other 7-footer, the other 7-footer, because there's a few of them, but he's working with Evan Mobley really well, and we may as well talk about Evan Mobley. He's been probably the biggest draw of this team for most people because he's a rookie doing things that rookies don't normally do, historically haven't done, which is switching onto multiple positions, blocking multiple shots a game, leading one of the best defenses in the league. When Evan Mobley is on the floor, the Cavs have the second best defense in the league, only behind the Warriors. When he's off the floor, they're about middle of the pack. When he missed those games, they lost 4 in a row without him. Jarrett Allen missed a couple of those games. And just to caveat that, I will say they played Brooklyn in 2 of those games, Phoenix and Golden State. So I don't know if they were exactly going to go 500 in those 4 games, even with Mobley, but like they do have a bad record without him. But it's just important to note that as well. But regardless of that, what he's been able to do defensively has clearly been the most impressive thing. He's intelligent as well. It's not just about his athleticism and his length and his shot blocking ability. Like, that's cool. That's very cool, but it's his ability to rotate at the right time or switch out. The Cavs have a good switching defense and they're good at defending the 3-point line because of a guy like Evan Mobley who can do pretty much everything defensively as a rookie. Like I said, like I could really just say he's in all defensive conversations as a rookie, which is kind of all you need to hear as a big man rookie as well, who normally take longer to develop. Like, it's just been incredibly impressive. He would be leading alongside Scotty Barnes. They've been amazing as rookies. He's probably leading the Rookie of the Year race right now, I would say, given his defense. And that's without mentioning, this guy is a versatile offensive player. He's shown flashes of a jump shot. He's shown some consistent flashes of a jump shot from the mid-range and from 3-point range. We know he's playmaking. He showed some in college, and he's shown some at the NBA level as well. A handle. There's not much he can't do. And alongside Jarrett Allen, this is a vision that a lot of people thought was interesting for the Cavs to have Allen and then Mobley and then Markkanen as well. And it's like, what are they really doing? Well, they're doing something that is leading to the 3rd-ranked defense in the league, and that's kind of impressive. And I think you can maybe question Markkanen's fit down the line, even though he has improved recently and he's been fine. Maybe you can question that, but Mobley and Allen look like they're just going to be a fantastic fit, particularly if Mobley continues to iron out some of those offensive parts of his game that he shows elite flashes in. So that's been really cool. Those 2 guys been fantastic. They've been fantastic. The Twin Towers are well and truly back, and they're fun to watch. But another guy who is definitely fun to watch, not Ricky Rubio, although he's been good. He's been good. Shout out to Ricky Rubio. I'm not going to talk about him for too long because you know what Ricky Rubio is. I don't really need to go into depth, but he has been cool. He's been a nice signing, so that's good to see. Taurean Prince for Rubio, fantastic move. But Darius Garland, he's fun to watch. Nearly 20-7 on the season, shooting nearly 40% from 3 on some good volume, pick and roll partnership, like I said, with not just Jarrett Allen, but Evan Mobley. He finds his guys, he finds his shooters, he sets up his teammates. He was on an absolute tear over the course of 3 or 4 games prior to that Bucks game, where they did shut him down. And if there is one thing that we could maybe take away, maybe they need the likes of Colin Sexton or someone of that nature alongside him, because they were able to really focus their defensive attention on Garland and he struggled as a result. It's nothing embarrassing to get locked up by Drew Holiday, who's done it to Chris Paul and Devin Booker in the playoffs last year, and countless other guys, particularly when he didn't really have anyone else alongside him trying to take some of that pressure off him. So, look, he's had one bad game, but aside from that, recently, he has been incredible. He took a leap last year. I was expecting another leap, and he has not disappointed. He's just someone where I expect him to be such a good and efficient player for so long to come, because he's just intelligent with how he creates his opportunities. Obviously, he's got an elite handle and he's a fantastic playmaker, and he's one of the better pull-up 3-point shooters in the league, pull-up mid-range. He can do it all, really, as a scorer and as a shot creator. But it's also his willingness to work off the ball. It's the likes of Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley setting off-ball screens, and then even Lauri Markkanen and Kevin Love as guys that can shoot. Like, I've been really impressed with that. So his ability to come off screens, his ability to catch and shoot and do more than just dribble and try to pull up on guys, because he can do that and he shows that off when he needs to. But for the most part, he's got a really versatile offensive bag, which is fantastic to see. And that's what's going to hold him in good stead, and that's what's going to be a reason for him being one of the better offensive guards in the league for a long time to come, because I think we can expect that. 19-7 as a third-year player, efficiently doing it, and I think as time goes on, he could easily be a guy putting up, 24 and 8 a game or something ridiculous. He's going to put up some big numbers for a long time to come. I think he's just one of the more fun players in the league to watch with his herky-jerky play style and just the way he can get his shots off, the smoothness at which he operates in the pick and roll or coming off screens, coming downhill. He's really fun to watch. In general, this Cavs team have been fun to watch. I think a lot of people have said that about the Cavs team, and for good reason, because you've got the 7-footers that can dunk on anyone on any given night, on any given possession. You've got Evan Mobley coming out there and switching on to any player and blocking shots and looking like damn near Anthony Davis out there as a rookie. He's been fantastic. Obviously not that far, but he's been incredible. And then you've got the likes of Darius Garland, who's really running the show. Ricky Rubio, even Kevin Love's found a resurgence coming off the bench and providing some solid minutes. Larry Markkanen's been better recently as well. It's all of a sudden a team that was kind of questioned for their fit, ridiculed a few years ago and questioned for their fit. Looks like they've got things figured out at the moment. That's all I can say. And considering they've not had Colin Sexton for the majority of the season now, or at least the last several games, and they're going to be without him. They've missed Evan Mobley at times, they've missed Jarrett Allen at times, and for them to still be 14-12, and for them to have come close to beating the likes of the Utah Jazz, and then just beating the Chicago Bulls, there's no questions over this team's legitimacy. It's not just those bigs either defensively. Everyone is engaged. That's what's impressive about Cleveland's defense. A guy like Garland might not be the best defender, but he's engaged. He's willing to rotate. He's willing to contest shots. Isaac Okoro is obviously physically gifted and does well defensively. He's struggled offensively, but at least he's still giving you something there. Markkanen, all of these guys are willing to rotate out to shooters and cause issues for other teams, and that's why I think Cleveland are here to stay as not just a great defense, but as a very good team for now, and potentially down the line, a championship level team. They're one of the most exciting teams in the league, and it was about time I talked about them. Have a good day.